at 248-557-3500.
This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Good morning. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm the host of The Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Due to popular demand, today we bring back Bob Allison's Ask Your Neighbor radio broadcast. Bob passed away last March, and due to the current COVID crisis, his broadcast left the air after nearly 60 years of solving household problems for the neighbors. But today, we'll devote a portion of this broadcast to helping you, the neighbors. It could be looking for a particular recipe, where to buy it, how to do it, advice of travel or personal matters, and more. I've invited Bob's son, Rob, to join us for his thoughts and input. Rob has been a critical part of Ask Your Neighbor for some 25 years. The Ask Your Neighbor website, askyourneighbor.com, still offers a number of Bob Allison's popular cookbooks and hundreds of recipes as well. Do you have a common household problem that you'd like solved? Well, while we're on the air, why don't you call our call-in number 248-557-3300 and ask your neighbor. That's 248-557-3300 for the next hour. Wow. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I am a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruz Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUZ, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruzhearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruz Hearing, ask for the free cookbook and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980. And you can call that number anytime, and especially now with the holiday season upon us. Although we're not holidaying as we'd like to, I'm sure in most cases, it's into Zooming, and I'm available to assist in ideas on how you can stay connected. And one of the things I think it's vital in terms of actually enjoying whatever we can at this time of the year is to stay connected. And a simple card, and I suggest a card with your handwritten signature on it versus one of these email type deals where it's nice, but there's something magical about physical presence. And I have heard some very innovative ways that people have done that. In fact, what my social group, quote unquote, has done is that we decided that we'd sort of have car caravans where we drop off stuff for one another, wave to one another, and stay 6 feet apart. But it's better being 6 feet apart than just being apart. I think that makes sense to me. And while we're on the air, please call in so that we can find out what's on your mind. 248-557-3300. As you know, our governor has put a sort of damper on encouraging people to get together. So we are a wonderful, creative country. I love this country. That's a good reason that I have this show, is that this first half hour we encourage you to call in with any household issues, problems in roofing and plumbing, and if you want to suggest a recipe you might have. This was Bob Allison's stable situation. He, as you know, if you listen to this program, ask your neighbor, people would call in literally from around the world. And his son Rob is plugging along, and I try to stay in touch with him. We have the cookbooks available as a courtesy. We've got free books available at some of our sponsors, and if you'd like a free Bob Allison's cookbook, I can arrange to have it for you to pick up at our sponsors, like Joy View Market, fantastic spot. They're right on Joy Road near Telegraph. Also the Cruise Hearing outlets. But you must call me ahead, so I'll make sure we have a cookbook available for you. The phone number off the air is 888-489-8980. The on the air number while we're on the air for the next hour is 248-557-3300. Again, feel free to call in, 248-557-3300. What are you doing for the holiday season to enjoy as much of it as possible? Good news is we have a new year. Just days away. And we keep saying Happy New Year. I like to add the magic word healthy. And to stay healthy, you must protect yourself in every way that so far we figured out. Vaccine apparently has already begun to be distributed, and it's going to take a little while, but at least hope is on the way. And if you have any suggestions of how people can enjoy their stay, share it with us. Maybe just calling people that you haven't talked to for a while. Now it's very appropriate that you can't visit together anyway. You might as well visit by phone, especially if you have any friends or relatives that are in an assisted living center or independent living center. They look forward to that. In fact, I'm working with the Pastoral Society. These are clergy that are available to call and give a specific type message depending on your faith. If you'd like me to arrange for one of the pastors or rabbis to call one of your relatives in a retirement home, we can arrange for it. Of course, as you know, with the HIPAA laws and all, we have to be discreet as to how we do it. And these are ordained ministers and also rabbis. And one of the things that I try to encourage families when they call us at our toll-free number, like we gave out, 1-888-489-8980. I repeat the number because many times people call in or actually dial in at different times. So please understand that I am not doing this to irritate you. I'm actually, in a way, better categorized to try to inspire you. And if there's an inspirational thought that you want to share with us, by golly, call us in. Since we're on the Christmas season, we always joke about Santa Claus going ho, ho, ho. Do you know why Santa Claus goes ho, ho? Answer is, you would too if you only had to work one day a year. Although, unfortunately, not to make light of it, our work situation has certainly changed as well. And that's the sad part, the camaraderie that you had in a work situation. The parties and stuff have to be done by Zoom. And I would strongly encourage you to consider that. Why not pick certain times of the week that you sort of have a cup of coffee together? You could call it coffee cloches. And some of the senior centers, like the one in Birmingham, next senior center, right on Midvale, 2121 Midvale, I'm a member there. They still have some fun events. And if you are interested in some fun events, again, call us at 1-888-489-8980. I have some other information that I'd like to share with you after our break. And we'll just take a brief break. And we will be right back, and hopefully you will as well. In 1932, John B. Frentz moved to Royal Oak and opened Frentz Hardware. In addition to the personal service, the family offered the community a store that provided those needed everyday hardware items. Plus, they specialize in unusual and hard-to-find products. Right now, you'll find all the gardening hardware, fertilizer, seeds, weed killers, and more for your landscape. Frentz Hardware is still family-run at the corner of Main Street and 11.5-mile road in Royal Oak. And according to Popular Mechanics magazine, is one of the top 12 hardware stores in the United States. If you can't find it anywhere, you'll find it at Frentz. They're open every day. Call 248-544-8111. And when you call, Bob Allison's cookbooks are available for free. A limited supply is available. And if you would like some information on Bob Allison's cookbooks, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But for hardware needs, call them directly, 544-8111. With all those numbers, I assume you'll be able to get a lottery ticket for free. At least $1 million. Hope that you check out Friends Hardware in Royal Oak. Thank you. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. And how sweet it is to be able to communicate. As I like to say, the ABCs of aging in a positive way is A, is to adjust and accept and adapt to what the situation is. One thing's for sure, no one walking the face of the earth right now is getting younger by the day. We are, as I like to say, saging. And if you have any thoughts on that topic or related topics about living life in a positive way, call in at 248-557-3300 for the next hour. At the break of the half hour, we'll be switching gears to the Entrepreneurs Network format, where we try to compare and share different options for you to be self-employed. In fact, I'm looking forward to one of our members. Our Entrepreneurs Network meets every other Tuesday. Our next meeting is going to be January the 5th of year 2021, which is not far away. We meet from 12 to 1, and Bill Carter has been a member for years, and he's quite an industrious, entrepreneurial individual, and we'll have a discussion with him after the break at 11:30. And what I'd like to do is share with you the remaining alphabet, just the B part and C for the positive aspect of aging. As I mentioned, adjusting and adapting and accepting. And also realizing you have to accept what is going on now, because a lot of people think back of the good old days, and we certainly had some wonderful, wonderful days in the past, but that's history, as they say. So we got to accept what we have now. We've gained so many new relationships that now we should actually be is for building and bridging, and also balancing your life. I'm very fortunate. Our synagogue has got Zoom meetings now twice a day, and on the weekends we have seminars by Zoom. Sure, it's not as great as being in the same chapel and room, but it certainly gives you an inspiration and appreciation of life. And that's what also is important. C is the connection. You have to stay connected, even if it's a matter of calling and just saying, hello, just wondering how your day is going, anything I can do for you. In fact, one of the companies I am involved with is House Calls on Wheels. And It's taken years to put the program together, but now House Calls on Wheels, just as it sounds, is a team of people that can do home renovations as well as safety type checks that you should have in your house, as well as medical care. A secret that a lot of people are not aware of is that anything, if you're on Medicare and Medicaid, it's medically related, does not require out-of-pocket costs. Medicare will pay for that, and I hate to use the word free because nothing really is free. It just depends on who pays for it. But if you paid in through work and all, you're enrolled in Medicare, and Medicare does cover anything related to medical care. And if not, there's private insurance that's still available. That's part of my day job. Anytime you're in doubt about how you can live affordably, by all means, call our toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. I've had some really interesting experiences and helping people. And we have a service whereby we can call you on a daily basis, on a donation type basis, whereby if you have a loved one that you want to make sure is in touch with help, if you can't call them on a daily basis, let us do that for you. And we try to stay within your budget, and that's why we operated on a donation type basis. So by all means, call us. Or you can develop your own little tagline of phone calls to make. It fills up the day and makes you feel good at the end of the day that you've been in touch with some people. And one of the wonderful things that we have, actually, Cruise Hearing, again, if you're hard of hearing or have hearing loss, has what's called a caption call phone that you do not have to pay for, as is actually part of the insurance programs out there. If you are interested, we can work with you through Cruise Hearing, whereby you can see it in action, so to speak. They have 3 offices, one on Orchard Lake Road, the other one's in Taylor, and the other one's in Waterford. So we got the waterfront covered. So call us at toll-free number 888-489-8980 anytime. And I pride myself on having innovative products available to make life easier. And the point is that you might want to consider giving a gift card for someone who needs in-home care. We always run around trying to come up with gift cards that people might appreciate and go into restaurants and all, and they certainly need the business, no doubt. But why, if someone just needs companionship, why not give them a gift card of having someone come in and taking care of what their needs are? And again, all you got to do is call that 888-489-8980 number. And we welcome almost any request that you may need. I wanted to make sure that we don't forget basics as well about enjoying life and taking care of yourself. Now, because we're spending more time in the house, I wanted to remind you on some ideas on how to make your home safer and control potential problems. For example, if you're getting fragile, why not consider having shower and bath chairs, bathtub rails, toilet seat risers and rails. you might want to check about the smoke alarms. And we frankly will offer someone coming out to your home and doing a walkthrough for as little as $25. And if you decide to make a purchase of any of the recommendations, we'll give you credit for that $25. And there's a lot of things in a home that you just take for granted. Why not consider, if you have your bedrooms upstairs, if you're in a colonial, why not consider refiguring your house so that the bedroom is on the main floor? We work with top-notch builders and renovators where we can actually convert not only your home to be safer inside, but I'm really excited about a concept called Healthcare Suite, where we can convert attached garage to living quarters. So if you're taking care of someone or you want some additional safe room, we can accommodate that by way of reconfiguring the garage. Or there's a concept called Elder Cottage, where we can attach living quarters right to your existing home. All you have to do is call 1-888-489-8980. And after this brief break, I'd like to go into our entrepreneur segment, and hopefully we'll have Mr. Bill Carter on the line. So, by all means, don't you dare go away. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I am a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruz Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUZ, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruzhearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruz Hearing, ask for the free cookbook and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 1-888-489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980.
What business are you in? What do you sell? Has COVID changed how you acquire business? We now live in what marketing experts call the attention economy. Old school marketing tactics aren't working. Getting your business noticed in a world where eyes and ears are tuned to speakers and screens 16 hours a day requires a planned approach to get attention. If you care about your business tomorrow, you gotta change how you're marketing today. You may not be able to outspend the competition, but with the right help, you can outthink them. Located conveniently in Troy, Michigan, Grow Studios can help you shorten the sales cycle and deepen your relationships with your clients. We do this by helping you develop video and audio content that helps your target audience develop a trust for you and your product or services. Grow Studios is a friend of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. Ask Ike about growstudiosclub.com.
And Dan Nichols, who you just heard doing his promotional program, actually has a studio that you can walk in and become almost famous for a very reasonable fee. I'm really excited about a lot of the talent that we have. I started the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan about 45 to 50 years ago. Time flies. And I am so fortunate to have so many dynamic entrepreneurs that I can call as friends. It's an extended family. And interestingly enough, now with the limitations of physically being together, we can stay together by Zoom meetings. And we have our next meeting is going to be in January 5th, that's going to be after the first of the year. We meet the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and hopefully you can participate in our Zoom meetings. If you'd like more information, by all means call our toll-free number, which is 1-888-489-80. And one of the original, actually I'm not sure quite original, but very close to original, that I've had the joy of calling a friend and a colleague, is a real dynamic entrepreneur. His name is Bill Carter. And Bill Carter has got that gift of not only seeing something, but doing something about it in a business-like way. Hello, Bill Carter.
How you doing there, Ike?
You're wonderful. So nice to hear you, and I really appreciate that people are now using the word pivot. I've heard pivot more and more now than I think ever before, because we're living in an economy today where things just are not the same. We always have changes, but we've had some dramatic changes. So for those folks that do not know you, why don't we practice what we do at our meetings and give you an opportunity to give your 60-second elevator pitch. Go for it.
Okay, Ike. I represent WebTech Properties, which is a internet-based real estate company. We deal strictly with private purchasing. We're not a real estate office as you're normally used to, but basically we're a locally owned and operated real estate company that can provide you with fast, fair offers on your property, no fees, no hassle. We buy properties in any type or condition. And that's basically what we do. We're an investment company that, private homes and small apartment buildings. So that's what we do. If you've got something that you want to sell, we'd be glad to take a look at it.
So, no matter what the condition of the home is, if they get a hold of Bill Carter, do you want to give out a phone number as to how they can contact you directly?
Sure. The office phone number is 248-996-4958. And our website, you can also go to our website that we have. It's webtech.properties.
And of course, I always like to pitch our toll-free number in case you missed that, because I repeat that number often. And that's 888-489-8980. What's an exciting idea? In other words, since I have a small mind, bear with me, you may have to repeat it. So let's say I've got a home and I want to get money out of the home. I don't need a whole bunch of paperwork ahead of time. In fact, walk us through the process. How, someone calls Bill Carter, and what happens?
Well, basically what we do, we get all the details on the home, whether it's currently occupied, whether it's vacant property, it could be rental property, or it could be your own personal home that you're wanting to sell. And since we are private investors, we make our own decisions. Okay, we use our own funding. And so we don't go to a traditional bank to buy properties. It's basically a group of investment people who are looking for properties to invest. Even if your property needs repair, if we decide we want to buy the property, as long as it's in a repairable state, okay, we will handle all the repairs.
So then, I assume you go out to the property, check it out to see what's involved. Is that how that goes?
Yes, we whenever possible, we will go out and take a look at the property. But right now, with the virus issue, we can go on the internet and we can actually pull up pictures of your property and your neighborhood. Okay. And a lot of times we can talk with you, find out what needs to be repaired, or schedule a meeting with you. And it would be a private meeting where we both can wear our masks. Okay.
Right, yeah.
But
masks
basically, as long as your house is repairable, not go to an address and find that there's only a foundation there. The rest of the building is gone. We would probably buy the lot, but it would be a lot less than what it would be if there was a house there.
Yeah, a lot less is well put if there's only a lot. Okay. I got it. Now, are there any upfront fees to get the ball rolling, so to speak?
No, there are no fees. Okay, as private investors, we handle all of the financing and everything. We sit down, we give you a copy of the appraisal that we will do and stuff. We'll talk with you. There are no bullying involved. We'll work out a reasonable solution that all parties can live with.
Mm-hmm. So, it sounds almost too good to be true in the sense that from what I gather, let's say if you've moved out of state, especially now a lot of people are moving out and they have a house they want to sell, they are eligible for the program as well? Or do they have to
Yes.
Well,
oh yeah. We work a lot with absentee owners as well. Sometimes people have had a house that they moved out and they were renting it out, but after a couple of years they decide, I don't want to be a landlord.
That's it, right.
So I want to sell this house and get away from it,
Right.
Or and sometimes they've had a relative, where let's say you're married with children and a relative died and left you the house. You don't want to be a landlord. You don't want to be responsible for all the maintenance and the upkeep of the house. So you decide, I'm just going to sell the house. And so by dealing with private investors, you save a lot of fees as well. Okay. We don't have to get an approval through a bank, to finance it. The private investors are putting up their own money to do that. We work with a national association. Even if you live in Detroit metro area and you own a house in Ohio or Texas, with this national association, we are in touch with investors in Texas, all over the United States.
Wow. So you're not restricted to just Michigan for this program, is that what we're saying?
Correct.
Wow. So then, as far as the equity in the home, if someone has only owned the house for a couple of years, is it worth their efforts to get involved with what your program offers?
Yes, because a lot of times when you're in that situation, and you're trying to sell the house and you don't have a lot of equity, you're going to have to come out of pocket to cover a lot of the expenses unless you can get somebody to put up a lot of money up front for you or loan you money. But still, you've got to pay that back. As private investors, there are many things that can be done. And it's, I can't just sit here and say just one particular situation. We have real estate people and associations that we can sit down with a group and determine which would be the best way to go. Okay? Because a lot of times when people have to move, it's generally because an emergency came up, they lost their job, they've been relocated to another state, and they're thinking, I just bought this house a year and a half ago, and now I gotta get out of it, and come out with a lot of money out of my pocket to do that. That's another good reason to work with private investors, because they will work with you on the value of the house and work things out with you to offset some of your, upfront costs that you would normally experience trying to do it traditionally. Working with private investors, there's a lot of fees that a private investor doesn't have to do. But if I'm going through a traditional realtor and a traditional mortgage company, there's all kind of fees and charges for this and that, and that's fine. Okay, but as private investors, like I said, if you had a fire in your kitchen and you're trying to sell the house and you've got to move and you've only been there two years, there's a lot of things that we can do as private investors, whereas you don't have as many cost-involved fees when you're going the traditional route.
So the beautiful part about this is the fact that usually you've got the whole rigmarole when you get involved with banks and all the paperwork involved. Is there a lot less paperwork as well from what you described? It sounds like there might be.
Yeah, there is a lot less paperwork because if you own the property, it's your property, and I and the other investors in our national association decide they want to pay, you don't have all the points, you don't have all the interest involved that you've got to figure out. It's just like if you own your own car and you want to sell your car and your neighbor wants to buy the car. Well, you don't have to pay a car dealership fee.
Right.
Okay.
Right. What a brilliant.
It is a private sale between two private individuals, and a lot of times you don't have all of those interest points, and say that way. And it's something that our country's been doing for years. One private individual selling to another private individual, and you sit down and you come to an amicable decision on cost and, dates that you want to move or things like that, and what you're willing, if there's serious work that needs to be done on the house, how much you're willing to say, okay, I realize I bought the house at $200,000, but there's been some damage done to it, and I realize it's going to take $30,000 to repair it. Of course, you're not expecting to get the full $200,000 that you paid for the house when you've got $30,000 worth of repairs that's got to be done. So we sit down as one adult to the other, and we talk with professional people in the real estate business, people that are private lenders who are willing to lend and finance the transaction. So it's two adults sitting down, coming to a logical conclusion as to what's a good price for what their home is.
Sounds
their vacant house that they may own.
Wow, it sounds like a well thought out plan. How long has this program been around?
Well, it's been around as long as real estate has been around.
Is that right?
Where two private people get together and one want to sell their property to another private individual without the banks, without all the, the other things. We come to an amicable decision to do that. And one thing that has come to be real, prevalent lately is, I left you a copy of a sheet, it says special provisions for COVID-19 economic impact.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Yes. Tell me.
Okay. And see, because of what's going on, this virus has greatly affected not just going to the supermarkets or going to your doctor's appointment, but it's also affected how a lot of people that, because of the shutdowns and everything, people were told they can't come to work and things like that. And so a lot of people are finding themselves in situations whereas they're not able to make their mortgage payments. Okay. And they don't want to lose their house. So through the federal government, they have set up programs where your banks will work with you. And that's what forbearance is. The bank is saying, okay, because of what's going on, we know you're unable to make your payment. They're making programs that have put programs together to help homeowners so that everyone, if you're in that situation, talk with your mortgage broker or your bank or whoever owns the your paperwork on your home. If it's through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they are working with you. And right now, the mortgage forbearance program will provide to reduce or suspend payment for up to 12 months to give you time to recover. Okay. Sometimes it could be where they completely say, okay, for 3 months, you're not going to have to pay your mortgage payment. Or they can say they'll give you a greatly reduced plan. Okay. Because at the end of that 3 months, you are going to have to, whether they extend it, you are going to eventually have to get back to paying your mortgage. But the forbearance, it's great for the homeowners that don't worry about it. The thing is, don't avoid your mortgage company. Contact them. You contact them and say, do I qualify for the forbearance program? Okay. Because there are a lot of, realtors and even the government is concerned that a lot of people, when this all settles out, a lot of people are going to be so far behind on their mortgages that they're going to lose their houses. And no one wants to do that. So if for some reason the forbearance doesn't work for you through your mortgage company and you decide you want to sell your house anyway and just get out from under it, we work with people even in that situation there.
That sounds fantastic. Now, for you to do the follow-up on forbearance situation, is there a fee for that, or is that?
Oh no, there's no fee for that. We do not handle the forbearance. Is a government program that's why we say Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac, Freddie Mac. Anyway, those are all programs where people have received their mortgages through, that goes through banks. But at the end of the forbearance period, if you haven't been able to work out something with your mortgage company and you still haven't worked out something job related where you are able to work and you figure the best way to deal with your personal situation is just to get out from under the house and get rid of it, then you have private investors that will say, sure, we may be interested in purchasing your house from you, and in the process, wipe out your mortgage. And then that way you're able to start all over again without having a home foreclosure on your record.
So this sounds really very timely, and we talk about pivoting. To me, that is a terrific relief, I would think, for many people. So if they are interested in calling Bill Carter, their phone number there is 248-996-4646. 4958, or call us on our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and I'll be glad to put you in touch with a fellow entrepreneur, Bill Carter. It's been a delight to have you on the air, and I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing you at our next meeting, which is going to be next year, I guess. But the good news is next year is only a number of days away. Bill, have a great day and keep on entrepreneuring. Right now,
All right.
we'll
Right
take a
here.
brief, we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back. In 1932, John B. Frentz moved to Royal Oak and opened Frentz Hardware. In addition to the personal service, the family offered the community a store that provided those needed everyday hardware items. Plus, they specialize in unusual and hard-to-find products. Right now, you'll find all the gardening hardware, fertilizer, seeds, weed killers, and more for your landscape. Frentz Hardware is still family-run at the corner of Main Street and 11.5-mile road in Royal Oak, and according to Popular Mechanics magazine, is one of the top 12 hardware stores in the United States. If you can't find it anywhere, you'll find it at Frentz. They're open every day. Call 248-544-8111. And when you call, Bob Allison's cookbooks are available for free. A limited supply is available. And if you would like some information on Bob Allison's cookbooks, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But for hardware needs, call them directly, 248-544-8111. With all those numbers, I assume you'll be able to get a lottery ticket for free. Or at least $1 million. Hope that you check out Frentz Hardware in Royal Oak. Thank you. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate. All sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. And I wanted to make your life sweeter and offering you as an entrepreneur an opportunity that with the new year that we have a questionnaire that I'd like to share with you, and I'll give you some of the highlights of it. If you're interested in pivoting or adding to your income, we've got some phenomenal programs available. Our Entrepreneurs Network has one major theme, and I joke about it, and I have actually gotten some feedback from people saying, hey, that sounds too hokey. And that is, we call ourselves snobs. If you want to be a snob, which stands for sharing and networking opportunity to build your own business, we have programs available. We can actually help you be your own boss despite the current situation. And now think about it. For every obstacle, there's always an opportunity. It used to be that unless you had a fancy-dancy office or actually a location that impressed people, you would have an office and hope that way to really develop a good image. Now it's very appropriate for you to work right out of your own home with your own business. So here's the challenge to you. If you are interested in having a self-assessment, we don't charge you for the assessment. We try to find out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. I joke about having the key to a successful life and be answered by that riddle of psychiatrists changing a light bulb. And the question is, how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? Give me a number. I see people flashing different numbers. So the answer is it takes one. But the light bulb has got to want to change. So if you can answer that for yourself, what is it that I really want? By all means, then you're the first step to success. And as they say, success is not like a elevator or an escalator. Success is attained one step at a time. We're here to help you. And we heard Bill Carter. He's a dynamic individual. At one time, he was a policeman. He's a veteran, and he has been in various business ventures. And now, as he described, what better format can you have that if you want to sell your home in a expeditious way? I learned that word yesterday. I thought I'd share it with you. Quickly and profitably, give them a call. Your home is very valuable. In most cases, it can even be changed to a situation where you're being paid instead of worrying about all the payments. But in terms of deciding what you want to do, you need outside assistance. Don't ever think that asking for help is a weakness. Asking is strength. And we're here to help you. And I would love to hear from you at any time. Just call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And as we're wrapping it up today, I want to leave you with my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
تبين بالقلب شيء بدنيا يا بالناس والمساكن قلبي شيء أنا سأل هذا واسأل ذاك ما شفت حبيب يا جرح البي يا صار